Hi everyone, I'm Ava.
And I'm Nadia.
And today we're going to be talking about why attendance is important in flipped classrooms. First, I want to talk a little bit about what a flipped classroom is. So, a flipped classroom in a college setting is one where students will watch the lectures at home and then come to class to practice the material they just learned.
So, why is attendance more important in a flipped classroom than a typical lecture?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, it all comes down to that in-class practice. For the class that my research focuses on, when students come to in-person classes, they're split into groups and then they work on practice worksheets together.
And when they work on those practice sheets together, they're practicing social metacognition, which is a great way to deepen the learning of new information. So, first off, metacognition is the idea of thinking about your own thinking. I'll give an example. Let's pretend the worksheet that the students are doing in class covers the idea of making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. After watching the lecture at home and learning about the information before class, students are then asked to discuss it through the worksheet. So, I might say, I'm confused about jelly, and my group mate might ask, what's so confusing? That would then open the door to me saying, I think it might actually be the type of jelly that we use that's tripping me up. While another group mate might say they're confused as well, but instead with the way that we cut the sandwich. Should it be diagonal, horizontal? Expressing all of these thoughts, processes, moments where we're confused, it helps aid in recognizing that other people think differently than you do. It stimulates metacognition in each other, and it promotes learning from one another. And all of this is really important for that deep understanding of new information.
Yeah, that was a great example. I really like that. So basically what you're saying is that the group work that they're doing in class is really making a huge difference in their understanding of the topic.
Exactly.
Awesome. Now, I want to kind of transition us a little bit to talking about some of the data that I've collected about attendance in flipped classrooms.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so what we've found is that for every absence a student has, they're losing 0.36% of their grade. But I'm going to break this down a little bit more. So for every excused absence, a student loses 0.3% of their grade. But for every unexcused, a student is losing 0.46% of their grade.
Wow. So what's the difference between an excused absence and an unexcused absence?
Yeah, so an unexcused absence is one where the student didn't come to class, they didn't give the professor any prior notice that they'd be gone, whereas an excused absence is one where the student emailed the professor before class with a reason why they couldn't come.
So why do you think there's such a big difference between those excused and unexcused absences with their grade loss?
I think it has a lot to do with why students are missing class. If you're missing class because of a medical issue, family emergency, or maybe you're a student athlete and you have a game, then I think your intention is more rooted in wanting to make up for the lesson that you've missed and take that extra time to fully understand the content, rather than people who are missing because they don't want to go to class or they don't have an interest in the class.
Yeah, that ties great into the idea of metacognition as well. Those excused students are already initiating the planning moments of metacognitive thought. By reaching out and explaining their situation, they're on track to also be monitoring their own understanding of that content that they might miss, and even, in a way, hold themselves accountable for that learning by letting their teacher know already. Do you have any solutions for how we could get these missing students into the classroom?
Well, the first thing is showing students this data, because it would be helpful to know how much attendance can really impact your grade. Another thing that could be implemented is the idea of an intervention system.
What would that system look like?
So professors would establish checkpoints, and they would put these in their syllabus and really emphasize attendance as an expectation on the first day of class. These checkpoints would be milestones of the course, but some examples could be week 1 and week 2, which these are weeks before the withdrawal deadline, or even the first quiz, exam, or project in the class. These professors would be monitoring attendance along the way, and at each checkpoint, they'd be reaching out to students who have been struggling to regularly attend class.
Do you think that this will be effective and easy for professors to implement in their classrooms?
Our goal is to make this as easy and streamlined for professors so they're able to intervene without needing to spend too much time on each intervention. For example, this attendance data could be streamlined into a Google Sheet with student email addresses to make it easy for professors to see attendance rates and then email those specific students.
That sounds like it could be a really interesting system to implement, especially if professors are able to make such a small reminder make such a large impact on their students' academic successes.
Yeah, I'm really excited to brainstorm a bit more about that and see how we can make this system the best it can be. But it does look like we're out of time, so I want to thank everybody for being here with us today and learning a bit more about the importance of attendance in flipped classrooms.